expect government to try to stimulate the economy. What we expected is that when time got tough on the farm, you tighten your belt, you learn how to do more with less. That's the American principle. That's the Kansas principle I believe in. That's that prairie spirit that makes Kansas so special, and it's that sort of mentality that built this country. And what we see in Washington right now, and what we're offering here at 9 Republican candidates, is some very clear distinctions. Every solution that is coming out of Washington is greater spending, greater regulation, greater red tape, greater taxation, and all those things make it harder on the small businessman and woman to create jobs and get this economy rolling again. We know here in Kansas, and we know in the 3rd District, that it's entrepreneurship, that it's free enterprise that builds this country. And what we see happening in Washington, whether it's cap and trade, which I oppose, whether it's card check, which I oppose, or whether it's the Obama health care bill, which I would have opposed, and I'll work to defund and repeal and start from scratch with a fresh bill. All those things make it harder on a small business owner to take some resources and create a business, hire people, put them to work, and turn a profit. That's the essence of the free enterprise system in this country. That's what I believe in, and that's what I'll fight to preserve if I'm elected your congressman in Washington. Now, we have 9 great candidates. We've heard some great speeches today. All of them are very principled Republican conservatives. All of them would do a fine job in Washington, and all of them would do a better job than the current regime of Dennis and Stephanie Moore. I want to go and fight and beat Stephanie Moore in November. I want to cast my first vote, loud and proud, against Nancy Pelosi for Speaker of the House. Because I know it's time to put Republicans back in control of this country and bring fiscally conservative principles back to Washington and send a message that our Kansas values will be heard in Washington. I will fight for you, and I appreciate your vote on August 3rd. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. I haven't seen Dan Gilliard yet. Dan, are you in the room? Mr. Gilliard, are you here? Okay. He was to be our 9th speaker, and I'm not sure what happened, but he's not with us today, so we'll have to pass on Mr. Gilliard. First, let's give a round of applause to these candidates. They've been working hard. The fact that we have 9 candidates in this district for Congress shows the passion that has built up in all the people in the 3rd District, thanks to Dennis Moore. It's nice that we have 9 people out there wanting to go in and fix the problems that we felt in this district as a result. There's something else going on in the 3rd District I want to tell you about, share with you today, that I think will make us all very proud as Republicans here in the 3rd District. I can tell you today that all 9 candidates, every one of them, has signed this pledge. This pledge states, whereas the Republican Party of Kansas is a party of ideas focused on meeting the challenges of a 21st century economy in our great state through the generation of new ideas and innovative approaches. Whereas the Republican Party of Kansas is dedicated to energizing its members and expanding its base. Whereas the Kansas Republican Party, in an effort to promote and implement the ideals of its voters, do hereby offer the support and services of the party to the winners of the primary election contest. And as a Republican candidate for 3rd District Congressional Office, I do hereby pledge my full and unconditional endorsement and support to the winner of the August 3rd, 2010 GOP primary election for the above listed office. I urge my fellow Republicans to join me as we now prepare for the November 2nd general election. And it has now been signed by all 9 candidates in the 3rd District, and we should be back. That's it for the forum. As I said, after Ronnie has closing remarks, we're going to give people a chance to leave that need to get back to their office and start cleaning up in here. I just want to urge you again, please take a moment for that breakfast. We really have to have your RSVPs and checks for that breakfast. And please, whatever you can do to get your friends and other interested Republicans out to the Marriott on the evening of election, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, for organizing this. We do have a big order ahead of us now to elect all Republicans when we get to November. And we have just a few days of our internal family discussion of who our candidates will be. And so do your research diligently. and then go to the polls, vote, and then let's saddle it up. We're looking for a clean sweep. Let's win in 2010. Thanks so much for coming today. If you need to go away and get back to your office, feel free. If you would like to hang around and visit and network and talk with candidates, we also invite you to do that. We'll put out an email shortly after the primary of what our next Elephant Club luncheon will be. It will be on the 17th of August, but we're waiting until we see how that might shape out to declare who our speaker will be and what our program will be. But you can circle the date on the calendar. August the 17th will be our next Elephant Club, and we will saddle this thing up. We're going to win in 2010. Thanks again for coming.